is more the intimate sanctuary.
Right, yeah. We have a big one.
I'm on board, so it's also conservative. Yeah, everyone is now. It's, especially conservative issues. Yeah, that's right. When you have 10 children, so Maddie, do you have family that lives here too?
No, everybody, all our kids are gone.
Yeah, where do
One's
you live?
in Boston, one's in San Francisco.
Really? And you like Mobile?
Not at all.
Oh,
I'm ready to go.
you're ready to go?
Yeah. I'm hoping we can get we started. Yes. It's a little.
Hello.
Oh, you're here.
Not too big.
Boston, yeah.
Well, not only is it unpleasant, but it's.
We lived in New York,
Where are you?
in Oregon.
Oh, okay, on the other side of the river.
Oh, it's
My office, I have an office in Yonkers and Terry.
Oh, right next to you.
Good, busy. But it was good.
No? that.
Okay, it's time.
I think so.
I don't know who you are,
When she was younger, she got a lot.
I'm gonna figure squeeze in.
but. Okay, go right ahead.
She was listening.
Oh, yeah.
I think she.
That's our golfer. What do you mean you don't know who she? That's our golfer.
I'll call for it. Sorry. I don't remember anybody.
Good evening, people who are here in the chapel, and good evening to those of you at home who are joining in. You're obviously concerned because you don't see the rabbi here. Well, your observation, your powers of observation are really astute. The rabbi is not here, and he's off on holiday, and he left me here, but luckily, this is a guitar Shabbat, so the most of our songs will be sung with guitar accompaniment. I guess no harmonica tonight. By Yehuda. So we're going to begin. There's a song sheet on the back table. We're going to begin with Ma Tovu, which is on the song sheet, which is the first entry on the song sheet. And for those of you who don't have song sheets, but who have sidurs, it's on page 101. And this is typically the prayer that people say to themselves as they enter the synagogue. And curiously, these lines were actually spoken by the prophet Balaam, and he was hired by Balak to curse the Israelites. But when he tried to curse the Israelites, he just couldn't get a curse out. He actually praised them, and this Ma Tovu is one of the praises that he uttered. And I just want to translate the couple of lines that we're going to be singing in Hebrew. How lovely are your dwellings, Jacob, your sanctuaries, people of Israel. As for me, through your great kindness, I enter your house. Hence, stated or said when you enter the synagogue. As for me, through your great kindness, I enter your house. In awe of you, I bow toward your holy sanctuary. Ma Tovu.
Matzovu,
Yisrael Matzor Matzor O Alecha Yaakov Shkanatecha Yisrael V'ani ve'rovastecha Avo v'tzecha Shtachavei el al chodshcha Ayiratecha Matzor Matzor Ohalecha Yaakov Shkanatecha Yisrael Matzor Matzor Ohalecha Yaakov Shkanatecha Yisrael.
So now that we've entered the synagogue and found our seats, we're now going to ask the angels to come sit on our shoulder, and they're going to spend a few minutes with us before they go on to the next synagogue and see the congregants at the next house of worship. So we're going to sing Shalom Aleichem, which is on page 5 of the Siddur.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharetz, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bochem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni LeShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zeichem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
So now that the angels have sat with us for a few minutes and have now departed, we're going to turn to page 11 for L'chu Neranena, and this is, we're going to sing to Adonai, to God, and raise our voice in song. So L'chu Neranena.
Try a little different. mafona betzoda. Ria na ria letsur yishenu. Izmirot na ria lo. Chuneranina. Chuneranina la la la. Lechuneranina. Lechuneranina. Lechuneranina.
So why don't we, this is, Lakuna Ranana is the beginning of Psalm 95. Why don't we read together the English translation of this psalm? So starting on page 11 and continuing on page 12. Let us go and sing to Adonai. Let us trumpet praise to our protector. Filled with thanks, let us greet God, raising our voice in song. Great is Adonai, a greater sovereign than all other deities. God's hands formed the earth's deep. Mountain crests, too, are God's work. The sea is God's, for God made it. Dry land was fashioned by God's hands. Come then, let us bow and kneel. Let us bend our knees in the presence of Adonai, who formed us. For Adonai is our God, and we are God's flock, sheep in God's caring hands. If only you would listen today to God's voice and not become hard-hearted like the people at Meribah, like that time at Massah in the desert when your ancestors tried me and tested me, though they had seen what I had wrought. For 40 years I was troubled by that generation, and I said, these are a people whose hearts have gone astray. They do not know my way. So in anger, I swore they would not enter my rest. So obviously, God is flexing his muscles there. So let's turn to page 17. And also, let's read this Psalm 98 together. Page 17 to page 18. Sing to Adonai a new song, for Adonai has wrought wonders. God's right hand and holy arm have brought deliverance. Adonai declared deliverance as nations looked on. God's righteousness was revealed. God dealt faithfully and kindly with the house of Israel. The very ends of the earth saw our God's saving power. Call out to Adonai, all the earth. Break out in joyful singing. Sing to Adonai to the music of the lyre. Lyre and voices making music together with horns and shofar cries. Trumpet the presence of the sovereign Adonai. Let the sea and all that is in it roar. The earth and all who inhabit it thunder. Let rivers clap hands while mountains sing in harmony, greeting Adonai, who comes to judge the earth, judging the world with justice and the nations with truth. So now we'll turn to page 20. For Romamu. Romamu is also the second entry on the song sheet, the translation of these Hebrew lines: exalt Adonai our God and bow down at God's holy mountain, for Adonai our God is holy.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'eshtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'eshtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'eshtachavu le'ar kodsho. Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Eishtachavu Le'akodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Eishtachavu Le'akodsho.
Now we'll turn to page 23. Shabbat is the bride, and we're going to welcome the bride into the synagogue with L'cha Dodi. We'll sing the first two verses on page 23 and the last two verses on page 25.
L'cha Dodi l'krat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'cha Dodi l'krat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Krat Shabbat hu v'nelcha, ki mekor havaracha, rosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh shapatila.
That was the second verse.
Oh, man.
After this one, we're going to go back to the first verse
I knew it.
before we go on to page 25.
I knew
So,
it. I knew it.
I mean, Yehuda's just
Shamor
mixing it up.
is
He wants to keep you honest.
Yeah. It amazes me that I've been singing these songs my whole life and I still mess them up. How do I do that? What's wrong with me? There we go. Shamor v'zakor b'dibur echad, Ishmiyanu elam yuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, L'shimo tiferet baliti la. L'cha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'cha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Let's try it again. L'krat Shabbat hu v'nelcha, ki mekor havaracha, rosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh shapatila. L'cha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'cha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Gaz news mol tiperotzi, Yetz Adonai taritzi, Al Yadish ben partzi, ben nisim ha'arkiva. L'cha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'cha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Ohi v'shalom ater bala, kam besimcha u'v'tzola, toch emunei am zegla, bo'ichala. L'cha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'cha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
May be seated. Let's read responsively the 92nd Psalm, which is on page 27 to 28. The song of the day of Shabbat. It is good to thank you, Adonai, and sing to your name most high, to proclaim your love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night. You gladden me with your deeds, Adonai, and I shall sing of your handiwork.
How wonderful are your works, Adonai, so
The arrogant do not understand. The fool does not comprehend this. The wicked flourish like grass, and every evildoer blossoms only to be destroyed forever.
But
Surely your enemies, Adonai, surely your enemies will perish. All who commit evil will be scattered. As my enemies gather against me, my gaze remains steady, for my ears listen and hear. In old age they remain fruitful, still fresh and bountiful, proclaiming Adonai is upright, my rock, in whom there is no flaw. Let's turn to page 39A for the Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaBarach. Baruch Adonai HaBarach Leolam Vayed. May be seated, and let's read together on the English side, the first bracha before the Shema. Baruch atah Adonai, our God, sovereign of time and space, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from light, who makes day pass into night, who distinguishes day from night. Adonai Tzevaot is your name, living and ever-present God. May your rule be with us forever and ever. Baruch atah Adonai, who brings each evening's dusk. El Chai v'Kayam, Tamid Yimlok Aleinu Le'olam Vayed. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamarib Arabim. Page 40 for the Ahavat Olam, and that's the third entry on the song sheet, and Yehuda has his own arrangement, as you'll soon see.
Ahavat Olam, Ahavat Olam, Be'ki Yisrael, Lama Ahavta. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. The song of the trees when winters their leaves. The song of the earth when rain soothes its thirst. The song of the sea when waves are set free. The song of the sky when hummingbirds fly. Ahavat Olam, Ahavat Olam, Be'ki Yisrael, Lama Ahavta. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. The song of the trees when winters their leaves. The song of the earth when rain soothes its thirst. The song of the sea when waves are set free. The song of the sky when hummingbirds fly. Ahavat Olam, Ahavat Olam, Be'ki Yisrael, Ahavta. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you.
V'yabatacha al tasir memenu la'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohei b'amo Yisrael. The Shema on page 41. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'kol levavka, uv'kol nafshecha, uv'kol meodecha. v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavka hayom al babecha v'shinantam lebanecha v'dibata bam b'shifteka b'beitecha uvlefteka b'derech uvshofbeka ukumecha ushatam liot al yadecha v'hayu latotafot beinenecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha ubisharecha. We'll now take a few minutes to say silently the rest of the Shema on page 42, or meditation of your choosing. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Turn to page 44 for the Mi Chamocha. And this is the song of Moses and Miriam and dancing with the Israelites.
Mi chamocha limadonai, mi chamocha neder bakodesh, noratei lo tosefele, noratei lo tosefele, malchut lecha rahu banecha, okeyam lifnei Moshe, Zeli anu amru Adonai lo lelam vayet Yada da da ya da 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 Yada da da ya da 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 Yada da da ya da 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 Na da 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 ya da 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 Ichamocha limadonai Ichamocha nebakodesh Noratei lo tosefele Noratei lo tosefele Noratei lo tosefele
V'ne'emar ki padar Adonai et Yaakov ugalo miyad hazak mimenu baruch atah Adonai Gal Yisrael. So page 45 for the Hashkivenu. And so this is said actually a couple of times every day. And it's really asking for peace, principally during sleep, but as we will see, it's peace for all over. So the Hashkivenu is on your song sheet, and it's the last entry. And it's also, as I said, on page 45 here in the Siddur.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, Lehamidenu Malkeinu leChayim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, Lehamidenu Malkeinu leChayim. Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha, Echayim Shalom, Me'ata Yad Olam. Sometimes I lay under the moon, and I thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. For when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around. And all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. Maybe no more wars, our children will pray one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. It's not about win or lose, 'cause we all lose when they feed on the souls of the innocent. Blood-drenched pavement, keep on moving though the water stayed raging. In this maze you can lose your way, your way. It might drive you crazy, but don't let it phase you, no way, no way. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. For when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around. And all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. Maybe no more wars, our children will pay one day, 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 one day. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, Lehamidenu Malkeinu leChayim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, Lehamidenu Malkeinu leChayim. UleChayim.
Ushmor Zeitenu, Uboenu, L'chaim Ulshalom, Me'ata v'yad olam, Ufrosh aleinu, Sukkot Shalomecha, Baruch atah Adonai, Hapurei Sukkot Shalom aleinu, V'al kol amo Yisrael, V'al Yerushalayim. Top of page 46 for the Vishamru.
Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat ledotam berit olam. B'nei Yisrael oti leolam, oti leolam, oti leolam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat ledotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim Asa Adonai, Asa Adonai, Tashmayim ve'et haaretz, ve'shamru l'nei Yisrael, et ha-Shabbat lasot, et ha-Shabbat ledotam berit olam. Ubayom hashvi, Shabbat vaynafash, Shabbat vaynafash, Shabbat vaynafash. Veshamru v'nei Yisrael, et ha-Shabbat lasot, et ha-Shabbat ledotam berit olam.
Yitkadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah, v'alma dibra kirutei v'yamlich malkutei, b'chayechon u'byomechon u'b'chayei dekol Beit Yisrael, ba'agalau bizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mebarah, li'alamo me'almaya yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitvar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh v'yitada v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nehemata da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. So we're going to turn to page 47 in just a minute. We'll rise for the Amidah, and as all of you know, this is our opportunity to speak directly to God. This is the phone call to God where we can express our thoughts, our most inner thoughts, specifically and directly to God. So the Friday night Amidah goes from page 47 to 52. Let's see, I think that's right. Yeah, to 52. So we rise for the Amidah. Let's turn back briefly to page 51. And as you see there, the seventh bracha is a prayer for peace. And so since peace is so important to all of us, we're going to take a moment to sing this seventh bracha. But let's first, why don't we all say the seventh bracha in English, and then Yehuda will lead us in the Hebrew translation. Grant abundant and lasting peace to your people Israel and all who dwell on earth, for you are the sovereign master of all the ways of peace. May it please you to bless your people Israel at all times with your gift of peace.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Ama Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Ama Tasim Le'olam. Ki atah Melech Hador L'chol HaShalom. Ki atah Melech Hador L'chol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Ama Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Ama Tasim Le'olam. V'tov enecha levarech et tzamcha Yisrael v'chol etz u'v'chol shah b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Ama Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Ama Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam.
So at this time, I just want to take a moment, a pause. I mean, we've just spoken to God. We've done, such holy things on this Shabbat. I wanted to ask you a question, though. And this is a non sequitur. I mean, this has nothing to do with Shabbat. But when you think of a Jewish wedding, what symbols do you think of? I'm sorry? Ketubah? What else? The chuppah. The chuppah. Oh, well, yeah, that too. The chuppah. So the chuppah really is appreciated as a symbol, as a sign of a Jewish wedding. Can you think of a time, a different time, when the chuppah is used? It's not only used for Jewish weddings.
When you carry a Torah from one building to another?
He's a plant. So it's used when a new Torah is introduced into a synagogue. The whole process of developing, of producing a new Torah is a very arduous process. It takes approximately a year for the sofer, or the scribe, to write out all of the Hebrew characters that that you find in a Torah. And typically, on the last page, the sofer outlines a few of the words, doesn't fill in the outlines, but outlines the letters so that whoever is paying for the Torah has the honor of drawing in the last few words. So after this after the writing of the Torah is complete, then the Torah has to be brought to the synagogue. And that's where there's this very fancy and celebratory procession. And the new Torah is under a chuppah. And it's brought to the synagogue with dancing and music and everybody, being very excited. And so it comes to the synagogue, and at the synagogue, all of the old Torahs are taken out of the ark, and they're brought to the new Torah, to the chuppah, sort of as a welcoming gesture to the new Torah, that this new Torah is then going to join them in the ark. And I should mention that, what chuppah means? Chuppah means covering. And so it's a pretty apt term, and it's and there were many interpretations of what the chuppah really means. It's only been used in the way that we know it for about 500 years. And it really represents, or the spiritual interpretation is that the chuppah represents God and is looking down on his newly married or the man and the woman who are about to get married and to form a new Jewish household. But there are many less spiritual interpretations that the chuppah represents the house that the new couple is going to inhabit, whatever. So that once the new Torah arrives at the synagogue and is greeted by all of the older Torahs, it's brought into the sanctuary, and that's where everybody parades around the sanctuary, just sort of like Simchat Torah. And then the new Torah is put on the bima, and the last chapter of Deuteronomy is read. And then it's put into the ark to be rotated with the other older Torahs. So I thought that was pretty interesting. As I said, obviously a non sequitur. Has nothing to do with Shabbat, but I thought it was an interesting sequence. Okay, so now let's turn to page 56, and we rise for the Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo hasanu k'kiyeh haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpakot adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'kol hamonam, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומשה יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגב מרומים, הוא אינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, אתה היום והשבות אל ברכה, כי אדוני הוא אלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ ממטה. tachat ein od. Kakatu b'toratecha, Adonai yimlo le'olam vaed, v'ne'emar, v'haya Adonai, l'melech al kol haaretz. Nahu yom hu yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo, U'shemo echad. You may be seated. On this, the last weekend of January, we honor the yortzites of the following shul members and past shul members: Jacob Frisch, Joseph Bernstein Jr., Nathan Mishloff, Louis Leibowitz, Gustav Fuchs, Eva Siegel, S. Mark Kay, Celia Gerhardt Reed, Rebecca F. Seidel, Jack Enton, Leon Gross, Jacob Weinstein, Dora Briskman, Marjorie Slavin. Are there any other names to mention? And at home, you may have some other names to mention. So those individuals honoring these your side should rise. Then we also remember and honor those people of Israel who have died either at the hands of a terrorist group or as soldiers. And so we rise and let us say first this prayer together, this prayer for Israel and her soldiers that was on the back table.
I'm sorry, excuse me. Should you say Boris Kaddish?
We're going to.
Okay.
We're,
In the Zoom is what I'm thinking of.
oh,
In case someone in the Zoom.
we're gonna say it as a communal event.
All right, thank you.
Avino Shabbat Shemayim, protect all of our people devoted to the preservation of our beloved Israel. Safeguard them from harm and hazard, and bring them home quickly and speedily to the safety of their loved ones. Let their names be inscribed in your divine realm, so they be free of anxiety, fear, and heartbreak. Secure them with your embrace, those still serving in battle and those now returning home. Above all, embrace them in strength, protection, and shalom. And we all say, Ken Yehi Ratzon. So, Kaddish Yatom is on page 58. Yitgadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah. Bi'alma dibra kirute v'yamlik malkute. B'chayechon odechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agalau bizman karib v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mebarach li'alam ulalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yifar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh. V'yitada v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei l'kudisha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbchata v'nehemata da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu, V'yal Kol Yisrael, V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu V'yal Kol Yisrael, V'imru Amen. You may be seated just for a minute. So next week, the rabbi has promised me that he will be back, and so he will obviously lead the service next week. The other events for next week are spelled out in the bulletin, and they're routine events. And let's see, what else? So we're about, in just a minute, we will do Kiddush at the back table. And then after Kiddush, I invite all the people in the sanctuary, and I'll even invite you at home to please come join us for an oneg in the social hall. We're going to finish off with a very spiritual song, Tambourine Man.
Say that people seem to have their own interpretations of what Mr. Tambourine Man means, but according to Bob Dylan, it is a spiritually minded piece of music. But we can all agree it's pure, unadulterated poetry. And in order for me to do that poetry, I need a little help with this. There we go. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy and there is no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In the jingle jangle morning, I'll come following. Take me on a trip on your magic swirling ship. My senses have been stripped, my toes numb to slip, waiting on left for my boot heels to be wandering. Weariness amazes me, I'm brand on my feet. I have no one to meet, and these ancient empty streets too dead for dreaming. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy and there is no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In the jingle jangle morning, I'll come following. And although evening's empire has returned into sand, vanished from my hand. I'm lost.
This is the spiritual one.
Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. Not sleepy and there is no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. In the jingle jangle morning, I'll come following.
Shabbat shalom.
What happened? My lyrics turned off.